Okay, we're going to move on to step 3. We're going to work with some rubber here. The AVs. Put in the bar studs, oil line. Use that as my target. I put on the manifold, and it's got a little dimple down here that goes over to the left of the case seam. If you've got a copy of the manual, it shows you that. Also, you know, of course, I've got the band on here, the clamp, and they're supposed to be between 5 and 6 millimeter of area here between a space, so that you know that you've got it on tight enough but not too tight. And I have 5.5 millimeters there. And then of course I put on the impulse line, slid it on the nipple. Okay, and this is some really good stuff, especially for this. It's called press fluid, and I've got arthritis, and I'm telling you, it's some mean stuff. So when you're trying to push this kind of stuff in, every little bit of advantage, you know, you have is welcome. I'd like to remind you that I do this live. Sometimes my words don't come out whenever I see something, you know, and I'm having to make a decision. I don't think it will. So if you guys will forgive me. 2 of these are the same. I think the press fluid was like about, I don't know, $5. It dissipates completely. Doesn't leave any kind of residue, so that it can pop back off later. You got to get this seated down deep. I believe that's good. Now you want to look through these, and you want to make sure that hole's open. Because it'll get in the way of your screw threads. So I swear I would not want to have to do that without that press wood. It's not really slick. I don't know how to explain it, but let me tell you, Lucy, it works. That'll go there. Okay, so we've got the oil filter on, and here's our oil hose. And we'll drop it down a hole. Turn it. Now we want this nipple that's the way we want it put in, like that. Okay, that's pushed in. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause a minute while I go check. I'm pretty sure that I need 4 by somethings, M4s, to put my oil pump on. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to go check the manual and double check that. Okay, the magic begins again. Let's go ahead and install this. On this side, it's going to be a 5 by 12. And on the outside, it is a 5 by 16. Okay. Now on the high output oiler, I'm going to put some grease down here. Push it down in there. Very best I can. A little seal will go down, go here. Okay, now we're going to use 4x12s. The worst screw. Folks, be careful with these screws. A 4x12 is delicate. I've broken them before on the oil pump. It was a mess. This didn't come out of that kit. I like it. All right. Perfect. I didn't think it was going to go, thought it was going to hit, but it didn't. Okay. We're good there. Guess it'd be a great time to go with a brake. Nothing left in the bag. I better put the bottom part on first. The small spring will slip over the top of the pin with the opening face towards the front there where the manifold and so forth is, and trying to figure that out. I kind of forgot there, so that it drops on your plate or whatever that is. Okay. This is the second one I've gotten like this. I'm not happy about that. I've got a one I can use, but I'm gonna ask them to replace that. That's not acceptable. Back. So you see this? That keeps it from racking, you know, back and forth, that pin. It's got to go over the top there. And now I can hook my spring back up. That's not right. That came in the kit. Wrong. I tell you folks, I love them. But when you start doing a build, you do not want this kind of stuff. So order you some extra stuff, you know. Because some Jimmy Bob needed to get to lunch. See, somehow that's bent back up. I have no idea. The tool to have, $10. Ta-da! Okay, we got to have some 4-bys for that. And I didn't have them out ready, so I'll take some out of my stock. I began to have a total meltdown. So I've muted the volume, and I'm just going to talk to you about it. They left out enough parts to seriously affect, somebody's ability to complete the kit. So, you need to look after yourself, and you need to. They seem to get the brake stuff wrong pretty often. So, just take that as a hint, to save you some time and some, frustration. Order a kit, a brake kit ahead of time. Those are all, I started those, I know they're in the hole. I've only got it on 10, so it's not going to rip those little 4-bys apart. Okay, so that's, I want to do that, but I'm not going to. Okay. So let's flip this over and let's do this side. We're going to do this side so that I can get some support on that handle. The kill switch is part of the handle this time. It doesn't come separately. So we'll put the coil on. The contact is bent. Bend that up some. Being careful not to break it. There's 2 anchor points. I'll be using 5x20s. Two of them. You know, that magnesium case is really nice. I just pushed the cable down into a slot there on the case. Now, I already have the Woodruff key pushed into the crank. I did that so that I could turn the flywheel and lube the cylinder up after I got it together. So now we'll fit the flywheel on and get those lined up. Actually, the coil is pushed too far forward. And I was looking for a business card. I'm going to figure the coil thing out here in just a second and release it so that it can move back a little bit. And that's a 10x1 nut. You need a thin wall socket to get down inside to tighten it. And I recommend starting it by hand. So apparently off camera I'll loosen the coil. Piston stop. Couldn't find the rope, and I couldn't remember where I put the white nylon piece that I use frequently. So this is one actually I got for using on the smaller spark plugs, like, you know, for trimmers and whatnot, but it's got a large side on it, and I've used it before for that. It just won't hold it well, but it'll hold it enough to get the nut down. And I will hand tighten the nut properly before I use it. Now I believe I'm just going to pop that case on there. That business card will stay till I open it back up. I was loosening the piston stop. I am loosening the coil. I couldn't believe how much forward play that had. But it's set right now. And I'm just going to install 3 screws. I believe those are 5/16. And then there's the long one up top that'll hold the brake handle on, and that is like a 35, I think, or a 40. $5mm. There goes the long one. And here we go, coming to an end, completed. There goes the brake, snap.